G'day guys and gals. Alright, so if you're a veteran player, this strategy will be sweet for you. If you're a newer player, my biggest suggestion is going to be to get rid of this and find yourself a new 8 and do this separate. That's the daily contract, just so you know, if you haven't looked. These are the 8 I'm going with. Team I'm going to be going in with, I'm going to be borrowing a Ling. As I say, you need to borrow 5 support units to get all your medals, so borrow a Ling with skill 3. Outside of that, we're going to be using Myrtle and Texas. As always, I do suggest bringing higher level operators if you have the opportunity to. That's not Vanguards. So we're after a flag bearer, so bring Elysium or Saleech. Saleech is fantastic because she's going to actually reduce your deployment costs, which just means you're going to be able to get shit on the field quicker. Sweet ass. Texas. Now, Texas can't really be replaced because we're using skill 2. Skill 2, there's not really a comparable skill on any of the other operators, so Texas is Texas. Perfumer for her map-wide heal talent. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, has Perfumer sorted out. Sora with skill 2, or alternatively, and better, we're going to go with Skadi with skill 2. That's if you have her. Ethan with skill 2. The alternative to that, you can only really go for Mizuki with skill 2 because that's the only other one that has a bind. But yeah, you kind of have trade-offs no matter which way of that you go. Last but not least, as I said, Ling with skill 3, she's going to be the meat of our veg. So let's get into this. And there is a lot to sort of absorb, so I'll do my best to talk through it all, but I hope it helps you guys. If it does, please sub. Helps me out, and I do appreciate it. All right. First off, we're going to pop in our Vanguards really early, as early as we can. 2. Stay on top of those DP skills as quickly as we can and drop in one of our 2 firecrackers there. Next up, Ling over here out of the way. I can't stress how important it is to keep her out of the way. Alright, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to wait a minute for our dragons. I'm not going to deploy Ethan early just in case something does go a little bit weird. In case he binds one of these and something just weirdly happens, but you can alternatively deploy Perfumer if you like. I mean, I just like to let it sit on this. It's my opinion. As soon as the first one's gone through, we're going to start dropping in dragons. First one on this white tile, because this fella over here is white. So, obviously, we don't block him. He goes through. Life's bad. After this, you can start deploying Ethan. We have plenty of time and points before this happens. So, this guy is our note. This is the last cycle of Texas's skill. Next dragon, just here, pop off to the right. Texas's skill, and out she goes. Alright, so we got our first Envy coming out, and we're going to deploy Perfumer. Sora. And hopefully what's going to happen here, ideally, is that Envy is going to hit Perfumer. Ideally. Which it did. Next dragon, up the top, facing our other dragon. Then we're going to use Ling's skill. Myrtle's skill. Myrtle is done. Take her out. Don't worry about your Sora taking damage. It's only because the things are exploding. It's not, she's not taking damage. She's just getting hit by explosions. Last dragon, facing the old dragon on the bottom tile. Keep an eye on this Envy. We need to keep an eye on this dragon because it's going to be its target now. Because as soon as it transforms, it changes from Perfumer as its primary target. Or it should. Which it... Yep, okay, so... That's normal. Don't stress. Letting that enemy through is entirely normal. You saw what happened. The Envy changed the tile of this. This is why we've got this one firecracker left. That is an entirely normal thing. So here comes the second envy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get rid of these two envies and then, and only then, swap this Thunderer back to its black, white tile. So I think it's black at the moment. Can't really tell, but it's not the color we want. But there we go, it's swapped back anyway because the other envy did it. So now we don't need to panic. Sora's skill. Ethan's skill. Bind as many of these up as we can. We want to get rid of all of these before anything goes wrong. Alright, so now we have Ling's skill, Texas' skill. Keep an eye on the boss. It will shield. I'll fast forward this a little bit until it does. You'll also notice that this Thunderer, not doing too good. Alright, there we go. Skill, skill. That's with the shield on. Sora's skill, go for it. By the time this happens, as you can see, we've got more little dudes coming out to blow the world up on us. Ethan's skill, make sure you just do your best to bind these enemies. Get rid of them as quickly as you can. Boss has entered its second phase. This is going to die. Let it go. Don't stress about it. Sora died again. Don't stress about it. Things are going exactly the way they're okay to. This has 2 block. Don't panic. So the boss and one of these are going to be blocked. So it's not going to go horrible. Again, upgrade the dragon. Use Perfumer's skill. Try and keep Perfumer alive. I keep saying if you lose other operators, it's not a big deal. If you lose Perfumer, it's going to be a bad thing. So I should probably emphasize that. Perfumer is the one you don't want to lose. Alright, boss has entered its shielded phase again. Skill, skill. Avoid putting down another dragon. We don't want to do that. If you want to, you can deploy Myrtle, just to help with the shield. Doesn't particularly matter. I mean, I probably should have done that earlier, but as you can see, the boss blowing up is not going to kill our dragons. We don't care. At this point in time, my dragons are good to go again. So again, at this point in time, I don't care if Perfumer goes down because she's not actually supporting anything. The boss is the only thing left alive. Sora in. Sora will continue to top these dragons up. Or dragon, I should say, because we've only got one left. Remember that the boss is hitting 2 targets at once now. It is what it is. At this point in time, we're just sort of whittling the boss down. It's not a huge issue. Preferably, though, try and keep stuff off Sora, because we want to make sure that Sora can constantly buff our dragons. That's the important part. Now, Sora will probably go down again. That's not an issue. Look at the boss's health. Who cares? At this point in time, once Link's skill cycles, this is over. So basically, once it's just the boss, don't worry about what the heck you have alive, because the dragons will walk through it. But until that is at, what was it, 35 and 36? Until the boss is the only thing left, you need to make sure that Perfumer stays alive. If Perfumer doesn't stay alive, you're going to have a bad time. Outside of that, though, I hope that helps, guys. And I hope to see you guys for the next one.